Hello and welcome back to the Battle Room. My name is Colin, and we officially have received the rules that will be playing a Series 1 type format, which is basically every Pokemon is allowed except for Paradox Pokemon and the Legendary Foursome. So basically we can use anything but the new Pokemon, the new forms, and the new Legendaries, which is, personally, I'm a little sad, but you know, their time will come. We'll get to play with them at some point, hopefully. But yeah, I thought I'd make a tier list because I have a much better grasp of the game, but also a lot of the Pokemon are gone. So some of the Pokemon move up and down, and it's kind of a completely different format because the Paradox Pokemon were being used in full force. Like I think out of the top 10, there are like 5 of the Pokemon are now banned. So they were very popular, and they were some of these most used Pokemon. So I'm going to be tier listing all of the fully evolved Pokemon. Yeah, let's just get into it. All right, so Raichu's number 1. I don't think it gets much better. I don't think electric types are like super dominant. That's probably just D tier. We could have D. I'm not even gonna tier list you, buddy. Yeah, Venomoth is not very good. Victreer gets Arena Trap. I feel like that always gives him more of a use than other Pokemon. I'm going to try to roughly order these between tier. Persian. Out of here, buddy. Get into the Shadow Realm. Golduck gets Cloud9. It's got use, right? Like, it can be used. Primeape. I'm sorry, buddy. Kind of bad. Arcanine. Okay, finally a good Pokemon. I think it's A tier. From what I've experienced a lot, the new item, the Clear Amulet, makes Arcanine much less valuable than in past formats. I would say that in the past, Arcanine would easily be S, like if Clear Amulet didn't exist. But physical attackers now can just opt to run Clear Amulet. Some of them run Inner Focus. Some of them have like abilities, Dragonite over here, that ignore Intimidate. So Intimidate isn't like super duper necessary, but Arcanine still gives you a lot of good tools. You get Intimidate, it's okay. You get Snarl, Wisp. Like even if they have Intimidate or Clear Amulet, Inner Focus or Clear Amulet, you can still Wisp them, which is good. You got Snarl. You can turn into obnoxious types to get that Wisp off guaranteed. I think it's still got some good use, and I would say Arcanine is still definitely an A tier Pokemon. Slowbro, he's cool. He's like a D. He can set up Trick Room. Muck, I'm sorry, buddy. Out of here into the junk thing. Same with Cloyster. Gengar. I mean, it's a Poison Dark type, right? Fairy types are still good. It's got pretty good coverage. Poison Dark is pretty good. I think it's got to at least be C. It gets Trick Room, gets Imprison. It's got a lot of good tools. It's a fast Icy Wind. Gengar is still pretty solid. I really haven't seen much of it or used much of it, so I'm not super confident in where I would lie Gengar currently. But I'm going to leave him there for now. Electrode out of here, buddy. Chansey actually lost Minimize, so I think it actually gets worse. I'm just going to put an F tier out of disrespect. We don't need Scyther. Alright, the Paldean Tauros. These Pokemon are really cool, actually, because their signature move, Raging Bull, gets rid of screens. And our good friend Grimmsnarl is back in the game and still pretty prominent in the meta. So getting rid of screens is good. So I feel like these two are instantly kind of good. They have Intimidate as well. I think they're B tiers for me. Yeah, I can't justify... I can't justify... I'm going to add an S plus tier. I can't putting them any lower just because I do think they are pretty solid. What the heck? Alright. Oh no, this one will be S plus. Alright. And that one's just S. But I do think they are pretty cool Pokemon. I think they are definitely B tier, if not a little better. Yeah, I mean Raging Bull's cool, Intimidate's cool, they're very fast, they're strong. Gyarados definitely feels A tier to me. I like it a little bit more than Arcanine. I feel like it abuses the Terra mechanic more. Still very splashable, still very good. Yeah, Gyarados is just a good mon. Obviously, I mentioned Intimidate is a little weaker, but Intimidate is still solid, and you still can run it on your team, and it does add something to your team. So I think that adding Gyarados to your team still, it gives you Water Flying type. You can Terra into a bunch of things. It gets access to Terra Blast now, so if you want Terra Flying, you have a great physical flying move. You can run Clear Amulet on it. It actually is very weak to Intimidate, so this item is actually really good, even though it nerfs its ability, it buffs Gyarados in a way, because Clear Amulet is so good on Gyarados. Vaporeon, it's bad. It lost Scald. Jolteon, bad. Flareon, bad. Dragonite. Dragonite to me, so it lost its good friend, because a big part of using Dragonite was using Shanpao, the Snow Leopard that lowers the defense of your opponents and yourself, but lowers the defense. And Dragonite was really abusing that with Terra Normal Extreme Speed. And I do think Dragonite takes a hit here. Dragonite is definitely, I don't know if it was S tier, but it was performing really, really well. And so I think lowering it down one peg might be where I want to keep it. Ampharos, out of here, man. Come on, Ampharos. But I don't know. I think like Dragonite could be B. It's definitely pretty strong, though. I like it in A right now. Azumarill, probably a solid B. I think Azumarill is pretty cool. Maybe it's even A. I think Azumarill has access to Belly Drum. It's super strong. There's a lot of great partners with it, whether that's Indeedee with Follow Me. I mean, that kind of sucks. Mousehold with Follow Me. We got a Friend Guard user. You can run Fake Out because now Fake Out is good. So I feel like Azumarill does perform very, very well. Sudowoodo, out of here. Jumpluff. I mean, I gotta say, I gotta give it credit. It's definitely a C tier mon, maybe better. It has Sleep Powder, it gets Rage Powder. It's a very good support. Not much not too much to say about Jumpluff, but definitely a usable Pokemon in this game. Let's just put all the EVs here. Actually, Umbreon is always a little bit better than the other ones. Murkrow. This Pokemon has been making a splash. It won the first Japanese tournament. It's performing pretty well. It gets access to Haze, which can shut down a certain fish Pokemon. So I think Murkrow is actually rather good. It might even be A tier. It is priority tail. I'm going to put it in A, dude. It's priority tailwind. It's really funny that Murkrow is so much better than Honchkrow, but priority tailwind is very, very real in this format. It's very good. And I think that Murkrow does it well. Slowking, it's probably got use. Poor Misdreavus. Draft Rig, we can get rid of you. Let's get rid of Fortress, too. You know what? While we're at it, how about we get rid of Dunsparce? And while we're at it, let's get rid of Quailfish. All right, Scizor. Scizor's actually a good Pokemon. I like Scizor a lot. It's a Steel type. I don't know if it's A or B. It's probably bottom of... I'm going to leave it at the bottom of A right now because I think it's pretty strong. But I also think it has its weaknesses. It does abuse Terra type really well. I have used it before, actually, on my channel. And the ability to turn into a Rock type or a Fire type or a Water type, whatever resist to fire you want, is really, really good while maintaining your Stab, Bullet Punch, and Technician. Terra Blast is also a really cool move for it because you just get access to any type you want. So you can just slam an Arcanine with a Terra Rock. And certain stuff like Arcanine that would normally hunt Scizor now can KO'd by Scizor. So Terra type's good for Scizor. Heracross, bad. I love Heracross though, design-wise. He's one of my favorite Pokemon, but he's so bad. I gotta put it in F because Rip Iron Bundle, that Pokemon was so fun and so good. Let's get rid of Donphan. We don't need to talk about Donphan. Man, great Tusk too. Stantler out of here. I'll talk about Blissey. I think Blissey is a pretty solid Pokemon. It lost Minimize, which is lost to him. It's a more annoying gimmicks, but I think that Blissey can get some cool stuff depending on its moveset. It's definitely like an E-Mon. Tyranitar feels B. It's felt rather lackluster. I do think it is good into stuff like Torkoal and other weathers, and it will maintain that niche, but I think it's a solid B. It's a good Pokemon that you can run on your team if you want, but it's not like super duper like, oh my god, I got Tyranitar. He doesn't feel super broken. Pelipper. It's probably B too. I think the Tauros is an Azumarill better though. I'm gonna try to keep the top of it at least ordered. It sets up rain. Pelipper's solid. We have no other rain setters. It's not bad. We don't really have many rain abusers. Gardevoir's probably C. I don't know much about Gardevoir because it wasn't being used at all. But now that Flurmane's gone, like I feel like some Pokemon have a little bit of a niche, especially fairy types can rise to the top, and Gardevoir might be one of them. Breloom feels very B. I feel like it's way better than Pelipper though. It's a Spore. It has Spore. Spore is a great move, and having access to Spore is great, and that makes Breloom instantly a B to A tier mon. I want to move Tyranitar up to A. This feels much better. I like this. I like that more. But Breloom is good. It's Bam Spore, and it has Technician Bullet Seed and Technician Mach Punch. It's a very strong Pokemon. Slacking is funny sometimes. Hariyama still gets Fake Out. It's still pretty solid. Definitely probably a C tier mon though. Not a big fan. I gotta put Sableye in C too. I feel like Sableye is not bad. It does get access to screens now. It gets Wisp. It gets Fake Out. Sableye will be used on teams. Let's be real. Medicham, bad. Canara, bad. Let's just get him out of here. I don't even think in Trick or Treat one Canara. Torkoal feels A. I think it's better than Tyranitar. Maybe Tyranitar is B, and Torkoal's better. I kind of like that. I think Torkoal is... I don't know, because Torkoal lost a lot of its good partners in, like... Mischievous, and like it lost a lot of its value because it was proccing the ability of Photosynthesis, so now it's a little bit worse. It's probably still an A tier mon. It's Eruption Trick Room. It still has an Archetype built around it. I can't really complain about Torkoal. I'm just gonna get rid of Cacturn and Friends really quick while we talk about Torkoal. But I do think Torkoal is a little bit worse in this format, just because it did lose a lot of its partners. But it's still a strong mon. It's still good at what it does. Oh my gosh, a lot of Hoenn mounts that are really, really bad. I don't know. I'm not hugely sold on Torkoal. Yet. I'll have to test it out and see. Alright, so Salamence. Salamence is it's a good mon. It gets Intimidate, and I think Salamence benefited a lot from the removal of Roaring Moon, Fluttermane. Those were really big Salamence destroyers. So now Salamence, I would say, it's not S, but it's definitely better than Dragonite, I think. I don't really know. I'm a little shaky on Salamence because I've never actually used it in this format. I've used Dragonite a lot. But I do think Salamence is a huge benefactor of these changes. I think it's actually a mon here. It still gets Intimidate. I like how I put all the Intimidate usages right next to each other because I love Intimidate. But it gets Intimidate. Terra Flying's cool. It can be run physical or special. It can be run with Scarf. It can drop Draco Meteors. It can do whatever it needs to do. It's a very flexible Pokemon. Definitely good. This thing gets Final Gambit. It's cool. Luxray, I don't even want you on the list, man. Or Vespiquen. Pachirisu. It's kind of whatever. I feel like it's kind of like a D tier mon. It's kind of okay. I think like Mousehold and stuff does it better. Floats, look the hell out of here. Gastron. That's a Pokemon we can talk about. It feels C. It lost access to Scald, which was like one of Gastron's best tools. So losing Scald sucks, but it still is a good ground water type, which is pretty rare to come by, and also gets access to EP, which is good, and it gets Yawn, still okay, and it gets Storm Drain. It's still got great tools. I feel like it's still worth using. Drifloon actually feels really lackluster, unfortunately. I think it's still usable, but like there's not a lot of terrains that Drifloon is really benefiting from. I think we need like, I don't know, like a Lele or something for it to really shine. So I don't know. Magius, out of here. Alright, I cleaned up the tier list a little bit and got rid of all the Pokemon that are worthless and not worth talking about. So if you don't see a Pokemon, I think it's bad. So let's talk about Bronzong. Bronzong is really, really cool. It's a Steel type, which I think Steel types actually benefit a lot from Terra, because if they change into other types, they can do it on a whim and they can just get rid of some of the resistances that they no longer need and can turn into something that just instantly flips the game. And I think Bronzong is good at doing that. I also think that Bronzong is a good Iron Defense Body Press Pokemon. It gets Trick Room. There's a lot of good things going for it. I think at minimum has to be B. Spiritomb actually got access to Trick Room in this gen and Helping Hand, so it is kind of usable. Garchomp, our S tier god. I think Garchomp is really, really good. Big fan of Garchomp. I think it comfortably goes in S. I like Garchomp a lot. It can spam Earthquake, and I think it benefits. Stuff like Roaring Moon, Fluttermane are gone, which are huge monsters that destroy Garchomp. And I think losing two of those Pokemon is a big gaming for Garchomp. Yeah, he's just good. Lucario, definitely probably D. It's like usable. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about Lucario, but kind of bad. Same with Powdon. I think Powdon's not bad. It can set up sand, which is always useful. Toxicroak is like kind of okay. He exists. This thing gets Storm Drain. It exists. Bombasnow is definitely like probably C tier. I think one of its best partners was Iron Bundle. You can spam Blizzards. It could be fun with Aurora Veil. But I think Bombasnow is usable. It does get access to Snow now, which is great. It raises its defense. It's just a much more bulkier, more usable Pokemon. And yeah, I think Bombasnow is good, and I like using it. I want to say it's B, but it's probably C in this format. Weavile is bad, but it's better now that Qianpao isn't taking its niche. I love Magnezone, but I don't know what it would do. It's probably still usable. I guess Body Press, always good. Glade. It's probably E. It's probably bad. Alright, Rotom Heat. I feel like the Oven is probably A or B. I'm going to put it in A for now. Rotom Heat has always felt kind of lackluster, but Rotom Heat is a very good Pokemon. It gets access to Wisp. Nasty Plot, Overheat, Thunderbolt. It's good coverage. It gets rid of one of its big weaknesses. And it just always feels like a really strong, potent Pokemon. Rotom Wash, S. Rotom Wash feels really, really good in this format. It's very good into a lot of things. And like if we look at this, it does well into Garchomp, Gyarados, Arcanine. Even Scizor, it gets access to Wisp. You can run Nasty Plot. It's just got a lot going on. You can tear it into water for more damage. You can also tear it into something else just to avoid, get resistances, get rid of your one weakness of Grass. So I think Rotom Wash has got a lot going for it in this format, and I think Rotom Wash is definitely S. It also pairs well with Earthquake. It's just so flexible. It fits onto any team. Just a great Pokemon here. I'll put you in D. Rotom Fan, get out of here, dude. Rotom is probably definitely a B tier mon. With Rotom Wash being one of the best Pokemon, that means Rotom has a niche. It's very good in the water types, very good in Rotom Wash. It also adds electric grass typing, which is very unique, and it gets access to the same tools that the other Rotoms get. Nasty Plot, Wisp, good Pokemon. Lilligant, I gotta put it probably in C. It's annoying. It's probably B tier. It definitely is like good with Torkoal. It's a combo you're probably gonna see a lot. Lilligant Torkoal is always here to stay, and this is no different. Crocodile is probably C. I'm gonna put him down lower. I think it might even be D, but he gets access to Intimidate, which is always good. And he's a ground type. He's okay. He's really a strong, okay Pokemon. Gothitelle feels definitely B tier. I feel like it's better than Rotom. I'm gonna keep this organized. I'm gonna make Rotom. I like Bronzong more than Pelipper, and I like Lilligant more than. I like Breloom more. I think it's more splashable. Yeah, this looks good. Gothitelle though is a very strong Pokemon. It's access to Fake Out. Shadow Take is the best ability in the game. I will die on that hill. So instantly, it's definitely at least B tier. It might even be A, but we'll have to see how the Gothitelle users find ways to make it work. Amoonguss S+. Amoonguss is the best Pokemon in the game. It is so annoying to deal with. Put you there. It's so annoying to deal with. I think you need to run Safety Goggles. You need to run Taunt. You need to run whatever you can to stop this guy. The onslaught of Amoonguss is impossible. It is a very, very strong Pokemon, and it fits on almost every team. Haxorus sucks. Braviary gets Defiant. He's okay. Hydreigon I feel like benefited a lot. I like it probably about there. Hydreigon benefited a lot. Again, Flutter Mane and Roaring Moon were destroying dragon types, and they were much harder to use if you're not Roaring Moon or Garchomp. So I think Hydreigon does benefit. I don't know if it's lower or higher than B. I want to say it's like closer to A. We'll have to see. I might be wrong about this Pokemon. It might be better than Tauros's. I think Tauros's need to go down. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about Hydra yet. I have to really test it and use it because I haven't been using it because Flutter Mane's so good and it feels hard to deal with. Volcarona feels like it could be A or S, honestly. I think it's an A tier mon. It gets great sets. It gets access to Quiver Dance. It can set up on you, ruin your day. It also gets access to Rage Powder and Overheat. It can deal with Amoonguss well. It can be much more supportive. It's a very, very strong Pokemon. Really big fan of Volk. Might be S. It might be better than Intimidates. I'm not really sure. Let's be real. Pyroar hasn't been good since that one tournament in 2014. Go to E. Dracology sucks. Florges, I always got to give it credit. Top 4 to regional one time, and I'll never forget that. Talonflame, definitely an A tier mon. I think, again, Priority Tailwind is very, very good. And I think having access to it is nice. And I think Talonflame synergizes really well with Garchomp. 2014 vibes. But also, it's Priority Tailwind, and so it can just splash onto a lot of teams. It can run a variety of sets. We know about Bulky Talonflame, so you can run stuff like Will-O-Wisp, Quick Guard. It gets good moves. Talonflame's a good Pokemon, and it's the only Priority Tailwind outside of Murkrow. So, Cloud Circuit out of here. Keys, I feel like, are definitely C. It gets access to screens. It can change types. It can be annoying. It's Thunder Wave. It's a supportive prankster Pokemon. Not too much to talk about, but a good mon nonetheless. Noivern gets Tailwind. It's kind of fast. Goodra, Poudra, Sylveon. This Pokemon feels very, very strong. I think a lot of the Pokemon that were causing it issues, specifically like Chi-Yu paired with like, I feel like Sylveon's issue was dealing with like Chi-Yu and also dealing with Chien-Pao because it was just getting blown up. It felt like it was good, but it didn't feel like it was super broken. So I think Sylveon is definitely S though. I'm a huge fan of it now. I think it might just be like if the Flutter Mane and stuff come back, they kind of push it down to A. But I feel like it low-key is even S in the other format. It feels really strong. I'm a big fan of Sylveon, and I think that it's goated. It does well, again, into the Dragons. We lost a lot of the Fairies, so having a Fairy is good. It's good into Garchomp. Good into Rotom. Solid into even something like Salamence. Arcanine and the Fire types are a little annoying for it, but they're good for a reason. Salazzle kind of sucks. Rangaroo is funny. He has Instruct. He is pretty solid. Serena gets access to Queenly Majesty, which is always good. I think I gotta move her to C. She definitely feels like a C tier mon. Fake Out isn't... I mean, Fake Out's pretty prominent. Like, it's a thing you have to worry about, but it's not as, like, oppressive. There's no Incineroar, so Serena is a little bit worse. Bassimian gets Defiant. He's instantly usable, but he's bad. Mimikyu is definitely... I feel like Mimi is A. I don't really know. Maybe it's B. Top of B. I'm not really sure. I think Mimikyu is a very strong Pokemon, but it's not like super duper broken. Adds a ton of util, guaranteed Trick Room setup. It's just a good mon. You could run it really offensively. It's just it has it all going for it. It's taunt. It's so strong. Palossand sucks. Oricorio sucks. Lycanroc is funny. He's good with Hippowdon. Other Lycanrocs are not as good. Mudsdale is probably pretty solid. It's nothing too crazy. I'm sure maybe Mudsdale is better than I'm giving it credit for, but Bruxia's ugly. That guy sucks. This thing doesn't get superpower. Sucks. Greedent. I always support my boy Greedent. I think he's hilarious, so I gotta put him in D at least. Barraskewda is whatever. Corviknight. There aren't many steel types, and so I feel like a mon like Corviknight is actually pretty useful, pretty strong Pokemon. It gets access to Tailwind, it gets access to Body Press, it gets access to Brave Bird, Iron Head. It's got good coverage, you can run multiple sets on it. Good mon, I don't know. Not too much to say. Pairs well with Garchomp. Can beat Sylveon. Go to Nomungus. Like, there's a lot going on for Corviknight here. It looks pretty solid. Toxtricity, I don't know, man. It's like, it's got cool moves, but it kind of sucks. Falling sucks. Caparajos sucks. Armarouge. Armarouge definitely feels like a B tier mon. It's one of the only Pokemon that gets access to Expanding Force, which I think is very, very cool for Armarouge. And I don't want to say it's better than Hydra, or it's probably about there. It gets Expanding Force. It can turn into different types to help set up Trick Room more consistently. It's a strong Pokemon, really. It's just a strong Pokemon. Colossal, come on, get out of here. Honestly, Colossal's kind of funny. You could do some stuff with it. This guy sucks. Indeedee Male definitely feels pretty strong. Do we have another Indeedee? We don't. Alright, so this is going to be Indeedee Female. I think Indeedee Female is probably at the top of A. Indeedee Male is probably somewhere in B. But Indeedee Female is very, very good. Big fan. It does mad damage, does mad work. It lost access to Expanding Force, but it still is a great support. Setting up Psychic Terrain is always good. It pairs well with Garchomp, pairs well with everything. It does well into Amoonguss as well. You can actually deal damage back. It's just a great Follow Me Pokemon. Follow Me's broken. So, and a lot of people are going to run safety goggles and stuff to deal with Amoonguss, and sometimes running Indeedee can help circumnavigate that. This guy's not allowed. Perchurnchin, it still exists, but it sucks. Grimmsnarl feels like a really strong A tier mon. I like Grimmsnarl a lot. I like using it. It's still a strong Pokemon. It got access to Parting Shot. It gets screens. It gets a variety of moves. Grimmsnarl's still really oppressive and very strong. Hatterene, I'm sorry. You've been replaced by Armarouge. Teapot, I'm sorry. You suck. Stormjourner, he's kind of funny. He gets Helping Hand and Power Spot's cool. Ice-Q sucks. Dragapult. This was a Pokemon that really, really benefited from Fluttermane and Roaring Moon's departure as well. I think it was a strong Pokemon, like, before they left. I think it was being used, unlike Hydreigon and Mence, who were, like, okay. But I think it's really, really strong now. I'm a big fan of Dragapult. This mon is super worth using. Low-key, probably could go, like, up there. This Pokemon's funny. It's definitely, like, a B. It one-shots Dodonzo, which is really, really good. I don't know if it one-shots, but it always crits, which is great. It's good into Dodonzo. This Pokemon is absurd. Disgusting Pokemon. This Pokemon's so good. Torch Song is its signature move, which allows it to raise a special attack guaranteed by 1. It's a base 80 fire move. Insane stuff. You can run Slack Off. You can make them really bulky. It's strong, strong Pokemon. This guy sucks. Let's be real. It's bad. Lechonk, get out of here. Duskbars sucks. I don't know what this thing does. This guy gets Trick Room and is really slow. It's actually kind of a cool mon. Probably in C. Houndstone, probably in C too. You could still run some Sand Rush stuff with it. Last Respect is a cool move. Cycle Man, he's like funny. I feel like this Pokemon is in C. It's definitely usable. Same with the Giraffe Rig Trick Room guy. It sets up Trick Room pretty consistently. It's okay. I think it's strong. This guy's cool too. It gets Spore, it gets Trick Room. It's got some good util. It definitely is like a bottom of C tier mon. It's definitely really usable. All right, let's talk about him. Dodonzo and Tatsugiri. I like them there. I like that there. I want to put Salamence like lower and lower. I'm going to put Salamence like there. Alright, Dodonzo and Tatsugiri, obviously they have to be paired together. They basically are the anime, the mech anime of Pokemon. Tatsugiri hops into Dodonzo, hops into its mech, and they get +2 in every stat, and they're obnoxious. So, I would say they benefited a lot from this change. They're now like pretty top tier. You can still run, there's moves to deal with them. You can run Clear Smog on a Moongus, but obviously they could run moves to stop Clear Smog. Also, Murko could run Haze. There's more Haze users, but they're obnoxious. They're really obnoxious, and you have to have a plan for Tatsugiri and Dodonzo, but the hard part is that they could lead them, they could play them in the back. They're pretty versatile, and they don't rely on each other fully and completely. Sometimes you can find turns to get Tatsugiri to do free damage and then bring in Dodonzo. They're an interesting duo and something we've never had to deal with in doubles before, and I think that they take some time to figure out, and I still don't think they're that great, but I still think they need to be on this list and they need to be up high because you need to respect them and you need to deal with them. Like, they're not great, but you have to respect them and you have to have answers, otherwise you will just auto-lose. This thing's bad. This guy's so funny. I wish he was good, but I feel like he's C tier. I think he's so cool in doubles. The olive thing is kind of cool. It gets like grassy terrain when it gets hit. It feels like it's around the same viability as it. This guy has some funny gimmicks with his signature move. Belly Bolt, you suck. Fuck you, Belly Bolt. That guy's... The engine's whatever. Earthworm Jim, he's kind of eh. Mousehold is actually pretty good. I think they're probably around, like, there. They get Friend Guard, they get Follow Me. They have a really strong neutral attack for when they, even when they're a support, they can still hit you with Population Bomb and do pretty solid damage. I think they're very strong Pokemon. They get Follow Me too. This mon is just good. This mon is very good. I don't like this guy. I don't think he's that great. I think this dude leaves a lot to be desired as well. I don't like it. Its revive move is really cool, but it's just not being used at all right now. It gets Fake Out. I think Tinkerton is actually pretty solid. It's probably around the power level of Breloom. Gets access to Fake Out. Gigaton Hammer goes really, really hard. But the issue is you can only use Gigaton Hammer every other turn. So sometimes it feels really, really bad to use when you can't press your strong move. And it kind of sucks. But it's felt way better than I thought it would. I actually like using it in competitive, but it still has it's a little clunky sometimes. This guy still gets Tailwind. It's competitive. Obviously, I put all the Intimidate mons really, really high. I think it's still a good mon to use. I'm a big fan of this Pokemon after using it. This guy sucks. Cellular Rouge. I actually think this mon is pretty good. I like it a lot. I think the Bulk Up set is really, really cool. You can turn into a Grass type. You have Flash Fire. You have Bulk Up. Bitter Blade is a really cool move to just keep you healthy. It's a very good combo. Bulk Up plus Bitter Blade is very good. I think this Pokemon is very good. I'm a big fan of both of these two. The armor Pokemon I thought were going to be dog are amazing. King's Gambit is really, really bulky. Very good Pokemon. Probably bottom of A. I like it more than Rotom Heat. I like it more than Torkoal. I'm not moving him any further. I'm going to move Scissor below him. I like King Gambit more. It's very bulky Pokemon. We saw Joe actually get second in a tournament with it, and Joe's entire team is actually legal, and I think King's Gambit is still a very potent Pokemon and one that we need to be worried about and consider using. It's a great Steel type, a very obnoxious. I think it's just a good mon. Very, very bulky, good abuser of Terra. Annihilate. This Pokemon is absurd. I'm going to put it in S. We're almost there. I think Annihilate is really, really disgusting. It gets access to Rage Fist, which goes really, really hard. Bulk Up makes it impossible to kill. You can run Scar Final Gambit. It's got a variety of sets it can run. You could even Population Bomb it to do crazy Rage Fist, but I think it's just a very, very bulky Pokemon. Super high HP stat. The Bulk Up set is really nasty and is very good on ladder right now. Annihilate is probably S. This guy sucks. Flamingo's funny. I'll put it in C. Funny. Cloth sucks. Sorry. And this thing's pretty good. Its ability's good. Poison Rock is great coverage, especially when you can change into a type that's not Poison Rock. I think it's probably right about there. I like that. I like this guy more than Pelter. But Glamora is just good. I think its ability's great, and again, it just has good coverage, especially when you can change types. This dude is absurd. Saltkier is absurd. This Pokemon is absurd. Definitely S as well. I like it there. I think it's S. Iron Defense Body Press goes hard. This guy's a funny Pokemon. This guy's funny too. This guy gets Intimidate. Probably C again. Tumbleweed guy sucks. And our final Pokemon, the Golden Man himself. I like him there. I like him more than Saltkier guy. I like him about there. So I think that the Golden Man got a lot of good for it. It was a strong Pokemon before they removed some of the Pokemon, but then removing the Tusks and removing Roaring Moon and Fluttermane was again amazing for this Pokemon. Being weak to Fluttermane sucks, and he was a little weak to Fluttermane. Could get hit by a strong Ghost move, and Fluttermane usually move first. So naturally, once Fluttermane's gone, this Pokemon is good, and I like it. You could almost build a team with the first 4 Pokemon there. Just got good typing together. Steel Ghost is good typing. I think this Pokemon is very, very strong, and I think it belongs at the top. And I think I like my tier list here. I would like to move Arcanine below Dodonzo. I would like to move Dodonzo there. I think this is my tier list. This is my tier list for Series 1. We'll see how we feel after San Diego, the first tournament in America with it, and see if we like this tier list. I don't know how I feel about it. But I'm pretty content with where I put everything. Obviously, S+, S, A, and B are your big, strong Pokemon. And then after that, you have your more niche Pokemon that can round out a team. But I do think I like my ordering of the top tiers. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think I think something's way too good, or am I underappreciating something? Let me know. But I enjoyed making this. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. It helps me out a ton. This is a good list. This is a good list. I'm satisfied with this. I'm satisfied. Have a great day. See you later.